Hello, welcome. It's been a minute. I haven't been live in a little bit, so welcome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Okay, so today's topic is how to figure out any song by ear. When I was a kid, I thought this was a miracle. I thought, man, like if I could do that, that's some type of Aladdin genie superpower, right? And then I got older and I realized there's actually a method and a system for doing it. I'm going to teach you that system today. So it's a 3-step method. So let's have a hypothetical and a practical application for what I'm showing you. And feel free to jump in the chat. We can hang out and I'll answer any questions along the way. Say you are just hanging out and you're at a party and you hear a song and you hear a song and you want to go learn it. And here I'm gonna pull the guitar out of the screen so you can hear this practical application. So say there's some song happening and it sounds like this. Okay. If you don't know what to do, step one would be hum and figure out what is the common note between all these chords that are happening. There's 2 chords happening, right? But and so I'd say okay, that note seems to be the correct note. So that's step 1. So I'd go over to the guitar, right? And I'd figure, okay, what note is this? Well, it is a C, okay? So step two, and this is going to help you basically whittle down your choices. So rather than the chord progression being like any chord ever made, it's really just going to be one of 7. So step 2 is, okay, I have this note. So according to the Nashville number system, which we're going to cover today, the Nashville number system essentially says that there are 7 chords in a key. So this is the key we're in, C. So chord 1 would be C, chord 2 would be D, chord 3 would be E minor, chord 4 would be F, chord 5 would be G, chord 6 would be A minor, chord 7 would be B minor 7 flat 5, and then we're back to C. Okay, so this is going to be a test then. So everything, this entire sequence stays the same no matter what key you're in. So this is how you test yourself. Okay, if you want to pause this, if you're rewatching this, I would say, okay, test yourself and figure out, can you figure out every chord in the key of G flat? So you'd start here. Okay, so that would be homework. So you could pause this video and figure it out. Okay, so now we have, this is step 2, we have all these chords but there's only 7 of them rather than there being like a million. So now we know the chord progression that we heard, we heard that I was playing at the beginning, that we heard at the party, is actually could only possibly be these 7 chords, which is good news for us because there's literally millions of chords on the guitar. Okay, so now what I do, third and final step, is figure, okay, let's figure out the bass notes to the chords, okay? So say you still, you weren't looking at somebody, right? You're just trying to use your ears and figure out a song by ear. So I'm going to pull this guitar off camera and you kind of hear what I'm doing and like the thought process and how you can do this. It's not a miracle or magic. There's literally a method to this. So say you hear this. Okay, so now what I would do is I'd go grab my guitar and I'd try to figure out the low notes, like the low string of what's happening, like the bass notes. So I'm hearing boom, 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 boom. Okay, so then I go to the guitar and figure out what notes those are, which is this is an A and an F. So notice that according to the Nashville number system, our A has to be A minor and our F has to be F major. And boom, that's a 3-step method. That's it. So step 1, let's review, is you hear and you find a common tone. Step 2 is you figure out, you got to know the Nashville number system. So you need that for this method. And step 3 is to listen to the bass notes and then figure out exactly what the bass notes are, and then you can figure out the chord quality based on the Nashville number system. All right, so here's a test. I'm going to play a chord progression, and I'm not going to give you the answer right away. So you're going to let me know using the Nashville numbers, like using this 3-step method, what the chords are, and I want to know how you did it as well. So, if you want to post or, put it in the comment section, that'd be awesome. Or you can just kind of scribble it on a piece of paper, whatever works for you. So let's say this is the chord progression. I'll play it a little cleaner so you can actually hear what's going on. All right. Now you're probably saying, it sounds a little hokey, and it does sound a little hokey, I think, a little campy, but you got to be able to figure out what chords I'm playing, and you can with the Nashville number system. So remember, step 1, figure out the common tone, and then you can use that common tone to draw up the Nashville number system, right, and figure out all the chords and the key. And then step 3 would be figure out the bass notes, essentially. So I'm kind of giving you a little layup. This is the bass note. This is the bass note. All right? All right, so test yourself, okay? Here's another test. All right, I'm going to do one. I was using open chords, so like cowboy chords. This, I'm going to give you, I can kind of give you a hint right there. Here's a test using bar chords, okay? So check it out. Shoot, you just saw my hands. All right, new chord progression. I got to keep my hands out of the frame. All right. All right, this is the chord progression that you're testing yourself on. So I'm kind of giving you some hints there, but that's okay, especially if you're just learning. Okay, so. Super useful skill. I remember having a teacher back in the day. His name was Tony, and he came over every week, and all we did was just jam for like an hour or 45 minutes or whatever the time was. And I used to have him figure out songs that in retrospect are like kind of simple, right? The chords would be like just G and C, but I had no idea. And he knew the system, and while he didn't teach me this system directly, it was more like I learned all this and kind of put it together later in life. I really wish somebody would have told me this like right when I started taking lessons. Like the first thing I did is like learn this. Okay, this is really, really important stuff. Because it's just so liberating to be able to, figure out any song by ear. It's also a cool party trick, right? But it's just really, really liberating. You don't have to go on a tab site and scroll through all the wrong tabs, or you don't have to do any of that. So, anyways, it's a good skill to have. It's actually probably the most important skill to have. And let's do one more test. And you're gonna kind of write in the comments or just scribble on a pen and paper what chords I'm playing. Okay. All right, so the timestamp is what, about 9 minutes in. All right, so you're gonna figure this out, okay? Gotta tune this guitar. It's falling a little out of tune. It's raining out here in LA, and it's total crap weather, so guitars get out of tune. But anyways, I don't need to be on here forever. I just want to come on here, give you all the tools you need to start listening to songs and just figuring them out by ear. If you have any questions, if anything's unclear, post, or shoot me a little comment. I answer all the comments. And if you're just curious about learning more just my method in general, or just playing more soulfully, I have a free masterclass. It's in the description as well, so feel free to check that out. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off today. I'm going to pick up my daughter here from daycare in just a little bit. So, listen, in LA traffic, like, people forget how to drive, especially in the rain. So it's total. I hate driving in LA when it's raining out in LA. So wish me luck. All right. See ya, everyone. Thanks so much for being a part of this community. Let's get better together.